Battle for the SAFA presidency is determined in Johannesburg Saturday, that of course being tomorrow at the organization's elective Congress. New leadership should be open to, well, expectations of change that will revive the organization and accelerate progress. Incumbent Dr. Danny Jordaan, Ledwaba as well as Mohlabeng will go toe-to-toe for the top position. SAFA's faced criticism in the way it handles its affairs over the past couple of years, and whoever comes out victorious this weekend will have to adapt to better serve the increasingly complex environment. Joining us now, Velile Mnyandu, SABC sports senior reporter, as well as Sifiso Ramara, SABC News journalist. I think Sifiso is with us. Good evening, gentlemen. Veza, let's start with you. This topic of the SAFA elections, it comes down to the ballot tomorrow. All of us this week have been speaking about two frontrunners, Ledwaba as well as Dr. Danny Jordaan, but there's also Mohlabeng from Tshwane, little known. Perhaps that's how the ballot is going to be tomorrow, and as far as the outcome is concerned. Your thoughts, please. Well,
yeah, I think that it is expected because we're talking about the incumbent and we're talking about his vice president and Ledwaba, that the focus will be more on them because there have been more of the prominent members of the leadership of SAFA in this past 8 years of Dr. Jordaan's tenure as the SAFA president. With the SAFA Tshwane president, in this case, Mohlabeng, maybe I would also say refreshing for me that a sitting SAFA regional president is contesting the election. Most of the time, it's always people who are coming from the NEC, as we see with them. But I think it's a no-brainer that you would consider that the other two, Dr. Jordaan and Ledwaba, are the focus is more on them going to tomorrow. And I'm talking here, sitting inside a SAFA an EC room. There was just a press conference that has just finished now. And I think chaotic doesn't even describe this the situation, how it finished.
Yeah, in fact, that's how we want to get down to. That's why we called you, Veza. It gives the background on this because once again, we've seen lead up to tomorrow. There's been a lot of talk. In fact, even here on this very channel, the incumbent, Dr. Danny Jordaan, was expected to join us this morning. And as far as the, an interview on Morning Live, he pulled out last minute overnight. Ledwaba made herself available. What is the mood on the ground? Because as you said, it is highly contested. A lot of people saying, but why is Dr. Jordaan going for another term? And he says, well, I've got unfinished business.
Yeah, no, what I can say is even how this press conference finished, it finished in a manner in which an NEC member had some unprintable words to say to the media, and you must understand that we were called here very late to come to this press conference, and for those of us who came here, at least we deserve to be treated with dignity and respect. But because the journalists are just asking a normal questions that they would ask of why is the president standing again, and also how would it describe the term that is just heard, and you have an NEC member, and it's something that we'll provide later even on SABC sport platforms for people to understand and see what we are talking about. But just to bring you up to speed, we thought you're talking about the biggest story coming here from here today is that there are some death threats, according to SAFA. Some of their members have already received some death threats ahead of tomorrow's elections. But I've spoken to a number of people here, including one of the other outgoing vice presidents as well, who confirms that, look, there are serious challenges.
Yeah.
Inside, and the first thing that they must do as SAFA leadership is to admit that they've got challenges.
Yeah, we're running out of time, Vez. We've got about 2.5 minutes left this interview. When you speak about death threats, are these directed at the incumbent or those who are running against the incumbent? Maybe you can give us some background on that.
They were not clear. But what they said is that the death threats were directed at their members. Now you would know that they are also saying that there was a possibility that they were even going to move these elections outside Gauteng. because they were running away from what you see to be a lot of public protests. So I understand that even tomorrow there will be a lot of protests. Yeah. So, but I understand that they're saying they've had to call to tighten the safety and security around tomorrow's Congress. And I think for me, I've covered